Moriarty's coldest drinks in the capital wasteland. Need some grub? Try the brass lantern. Need some grub? Try the brass lantern. Thirsty partner? Try Moriarty's coldest drinks in the capital wasteland.
So, welcome back to another episode of GEEXX Plays. Sorry for the rough opening. I have not done any game reviews in probably at least 8 months, if not longer. Part of the reason for that is that I really couldn't find any games to play that I was interested in playing. I've actually been, in the last 8 months, I've mostly been playing old games that I've already reviewed. I played through Elden Ring completely twice. I've been playing other games. I've just been replaying other games and doing that because I couldn't find anything that I was really excited about to play that I had beat or wanted to review. I actually bought the Fallout bundle for Steam's Black Friday sale. I paid like $10 or $12 a piece for 4 different Fallout games. And so far Fallout 3, which is the game I'm talking about, and if you know anything about Fallout 3 you can see, this is the only one that I've played so far. And the reason for that is that I couldn't get into it. But before I get into my personal feelings, I'll talk about the game a little bit, even though this game is many years old. Fallout 3 takes place in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, where like the whole world was nuked. This is the United States, and or at least a part of it. And there's mutants and ghouls, and giant insects, and mutated cows with 2 heads, which you can see over here.
You won't get away with that.
I'm trying to pick Bucky. But yeah, two-headed cows, desolate wastelands, ruins of cities, bridges. There's a bathtub in the middle of the road here, and people live in mostly these like cobbled together structures built of scraps from surrounding civilization. This is the glorious town of Megaton, which you find early on. It's one of the first cities you find. One of the first hubs. Be quiet, robot. The setting is also kind of like a fictionalized version of the 1950s. Like that was civilization's ultimate, like, I don't know what you want to call it. Their final form, civilization's final form. You know, the aesthetic. The aesthetic is 1950s. But there's some futuristic stuff, like obviously I'm holding a ray gun. But the aesthetic is what the 1950s thought a ray gun would look like. This is my dude. I'm in some power armor. I don't know how to pivot the camera around me. I spent most of the game in close-up mode because the movement here was really annoying. I found that this is just super janky. Especially when you're not walking. Straight line's fine, but when you're walking it, this is just really weird. So I spent it in close-up mode like this, first-person perspective. There's radioactive puddles all around. Get to worry about radiation. If I go to my user interface screen, here's the map. There's all the cities, and here's all the locations I've discovered. If I zoom, I can't spend it further. But like this is mostly empty. I know there's lots more to discover than this. Yeah, this is all empty over here. I do have a quest. I have beaten the game, but when you beat the game, it kind of drops you into the DLC right after the ending cinematic. So, I have not done that. So, let me tell you a couple of reasons why it took me 8 months to finish this game. I found the I found it interesting, like the world and the setting and the story, and there's like some very dark humor that I really enjoy. But you can warp to any of these places. You can say, you know, travel to Springwood. You can just zoom over to there. You can zoom over to any location you've discovered. I haven't actually gotten to Vault 7. I can't zoom there. But I can go to the lamplight. I can go there. You can zoom all around the map. But walking, like this is as fast as I can move. And getting to those places is I just found it to be a slog. That's one thing. I was kind of annoyed by the fact that the carrying capacity, like you have a limited carrying capacity for your items. I can carry 270 pounds of stuff, and I'm wearing, I've got a rifle, I've got a melee weapon, and I always carry like at least a couple weapons. Like if I run low on ammo on one, I've got a second one for backup. I have tons of ammo though, and my armor and helmet. The helmet weighs 5 pounds, the armor weighs 45 pounds, so obviously, and then like this stuff is all weightless, and your ammunition is all weightless. Those are good things. But like miscellaneous stuff, some of this has weights. I try and like when I go back to town, I try and dump everything that does not have weight I don't need, so I can free up as much carrying capacity. The other thing too, that like one of the downsides is that to repair something, you need to break something else, or you need to pay someone to repair something. Paying people to repair stuff is exorbitantly expensive, hideously expensive. Now I realize that kind of like having to use scraps of, I'm going to break apart a gun for scraps to repair another gun. The scarcity of materials and ammunition and armor and weapons, that fits the whole vibe of this, but it's just, I found it frustrating. The scarcity and everything, it took me forever before I actually had a really solid, before I felt comfortable, that I wasn't going to run out of inventory, that I wasn't going to run out of money to buy ammo if I ran out. I was constantly switching weapons, to make sure I didn't run out of ammo. I'd switch back and forth, from, a shotgun to an assault rifle to a submachine gun, just back and forth, just to try and keep my ammo supplies decent. So I wouldn't have to worry about spending money buying ammo, if I didn't have any to spare. So, yeah, the item scarcity, and the problem with it wasn't that it existed, it was that it took so long to get over the hump, you expect these things to happen when you're low level. But, by the time I was level 10, I was like exploring on the map and just, had a good grasp on stuff, at least I thought. But, yeah, item scarcity lasted a long time. Now, maybe that was me not knowing the game very well. I'm sure people who are out there who are pros at this know how to get a lot of money and a lot of gear really quickly. But I did a completely blind playthrough. Did this game completely blind, or almost. I only looked up a couple things. Like there was a couple quests I got stuck on. The other thing that kind of bothered me was the combat, in that I never really felt I had a good handle on it. Like I never ever felt in control of combat. I mean, it basically got to the point where, I've got 460 hit points. I'm level 22. It got to the point where like I would stand in front of the enemy and just take the hits. I was basically I just face tanked everything at the end of the game, because that's pretty much all there is. The other thing about the combat too is that the computer cheats. For example, like if I was sitting at like I can crouch down and like hide behind this rock, and I can try and ping him and not, and half my shots will miss. And I've got, as far as skills go to my skills, like my energy weapons is 100%, my small guns is 100%. Like I've maxed out these two things, so my accuracy is as high as it's going to go, and I'm still missing. There's also a targeting system. I'm not going to shoot him because he's like a good guy. Like, look, I've got like a 49% chance for a headshot. You can also like target body parts. And for some reason, you always have a higher chance to hit the legs, higher chance of accuracy. But like I said, I'm maxed out, and I'm going to miss half my shots shooting at this guy. Okay? but they never have any problem hitting me. Like, he'll sit here and shoot me, and he's just pinging shots off my head. I'm in cover behind a rock. He's out in the open, and he will hit me more. So the computer cheats. You know, I'm getting shredded over here. Although I've got enough hit points that I'm not going to die right away. You know, I can hide behind a rock. I can like duck, peek out, duck, peek out. It's just that's pretty much all combat was. I was either backing up and shooting as I retreat, or if they're standing still, I'd try to find a piece of cover, and poke my head out while being crouched down. So like the computer cheats with combat, and the combat is just combat is clunky.
Please, God. So thirsty.
I don't have any water to give you. But I mean, the world itself, I mean, it's bleak. I'm gonna back up. I think you can see better with the back, but this is just gorgeously designed. It really is. I mean, the game is several years old, and I thought it's not as good as some modern games, but they really put some thought into this. I do have some issues, but like there's stuff everywhere. Like I can check, like there's soda. I've already emptied this. But like you can find stuff in the vending machines. You can find stuff in mailboxes and trash cans. One of the things I was critical about for the houses, like this house has a door. It's missing, but there's a doorway. But there are some houses, like some disintegrated houses out there, where there's actually like there's no space for a door. There's, I'm not sure if I can find one. Yeah, like there's no door. It's just an open, But there are some where there would be like a wall and some wooden struts and stuff, but no actual place for you can walk through. You can see inside the building, and you can get inside to like jump around and through an open window or something, but there's no actual door to the house. Not all of them. But yeah, there's stuff hidden everywhere. I do like that. Like, there's a hidden foot locker here. There's that mailbox over there. You can like pull lawnmower blades out of lawnmowers. You can pull pilot lights out of ovens. You'll find food in the refrigerators. There's like trash all over the place. There's like all these like soda bottles and tins, which you can use for scrap of some kind or other. It will fill up your inventory. Open the gate. Mailbox is empty. So like the world, like there's some things that the world could do better, but given how large it is, see it's the mailbox. Look at this. This is huge. I mean, get to the top of the hill where you can actually get a better view. If you get up here on top of something, you just look out over the world. Look how far you can see, and look at how much there is. You can see up in the distance, there's like some broken city over there. There's a bridge. There's a lot of broken bridges. Here's this ruined city here. You can see like megatons over there. There's cities over that way, a bridge over that way. There's something walking on that bridge. Oh, is that the guy with the cow? Yeah, he's like a wandering peddler. There's wandering peddlers. You can, in honesty, kill anyone you want to. This game has good karma and bad karma. If you help people, you get good karma. If you kill people you're not supposed to, you get bad karma. I have accidentally shot a few people when I was in the middle of combat, and someone friendly runs by, and I accidentally target them and shoot them. So there's a school over there, which I use as a base of operations for certain things. And there's so much to explore. You can select, there's Megaton. Here's Springville where I am right now, and look at how much distance there's to cover there. And you've got this whole huge world to explore. Yeah, I spent most of it over here, obviously, because that's where all the stuff is discovered. The other stuff I've uncovered is because of quests. Like I had a quest to go to Vault 92, and I had a quest to do this thing. Although I'm not sure how I got there. I got like a tunnel or something. Yeah, there's like subways. Like a northwest Seneca station. You can take the subway, like one of the subway tunnels, and come out somewhere else. There is just so much to do in this game. So my frustrations with the game are more because I have one other frustration, um, and that is the number of crashes that I would have. Like there was been days when I would like crash multiple times, and that's what made it hard. That's another thing that made it hard to beat the game. Like I think I played the game like 10 or 20 hours before the first real crash happened. But yeah, I was playing along. I decided to come back to the game and beat it. It's like, okay, haven't played the games for a while. I guess I'll do it. I guess I'll play this. But I would start the game and it would crash. And I'd reboot the game and it would crash. I'd reboot the game and it would crash. I was like, I'm done for the night. And then it would take me 2 or 3 days to want to pick it back up again because it was just the game. I didn't really have a lot of bugs other than the crashing. There's a couple glitches here and there. A couple times the game would lock up, um, or little quirky things like that would happen, you know. But the story was good. The story was decent. The world building is good. The setting is good. The game design is mostly good. Like I said, I've had my problems with the combat and some of the item scarcity. There are some things that, game design that I did not enjoy, just because I think they were taking, the scarcity and stuff was taken a bit to its extremes. The computer cheating. I've gone over the stuff I didn't like about the game, but I understand why people love this game, because for all the quirks, if I had played this game when it was brand new, I think I would have completely overlooked the flaws. I would have been in love with this game if I'd gotten it when it was brand new. But because I'm coming into it, a decade or so late, and other games have done things like this and done them better without those problems, there's been a lot of quality of life improvements in future games. You can also get companions in the game, people to help you out, which I did enjoy. Where's Vault 101? Because I've only managed to find 2 of them. Is it just behind me? Oh yeah. I'm not gonna warp there because it's. I only found 2. There was Fox, who is actually a giant sewer mutant with a Gatling machine gun, which I love. And oh, there he is. There's Dogmeat. Dogmeat's a good companion. Dogmeat is stuck in the ground. Yay! And then Dogmeat will follow you around. There are some flaws with the companions. I've had Dogmeat and Fox get stuck on objects and just not appear for a long time. But they'll fight for you. They'll tank for you. Dogmeat's a freaking tank. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but yeah, he'll soak up the bullets. And Dogmeat will also growl if there's enemies nearby, so I like having Dogmeat with me. Although Fox, I do enjoy Fox's laser Gatling gun. That's just fun to watch him scream at stuff and shoot them down. So I know there's other companions, I just haven't got any of them. I'm also not going to play the DLC. I beat the main game. I've had my frustrations with it. I'm kind of done. Whether I play the other Fallout games, I do have Fallout 4, Fallout Las Vegas, and Fallout 76. I will probably at some point play them. But because of my frustrations with the game, I got to give it a B. I'll give it a B+. Like I said, I think, along with some of the other games, older games that I'm getting back to. Yeah, there are some that there's been so many quality of life improvements in some similar games like this that, without having played it new, it just kind of falls a little flat for me. It needs a bit of quality of life improvements. Having said that, it's a great game. It just didn't. There are just things about it that bother me too much to actually, really, really love it. And that kind of made me want to quit it and just get done with it. Anywho, that's my rambling, crappy review. As always, thanks for watching. As always, my stuff is crap. And until next time, good hunting.